Hello everybody, I hope you guys are doing well, having a great day or a great night, and let's get started. So please forgive me for the delay. I'm being very busy these days, and also it's tax season, and I'm still looking for a nurse for my mom, so things are going wild, really crazy. Okay, so in today's video we're going to talk about first US economy, because all those things are linked one to the other, okay? So if you only cares about, for example, crypto or XRP, you are doing this wrong, okay? Because you gotta look into all these things. So a little bit of US economy, Dow Jones, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, okay? They are all connected. And what is going to happen with risky assets, crypto market? It is just a reflex of what is going on in the United States. Okay, so at this point, I believe that all you guys know and is aware of this as well. Okay, so what is going on with the US economy? Not only the US economy. So when Trump puts tariffs on other countries, those countries are also hitting back. Okay. And so what happens after? What happens is that inflation will go up exponentially. Okay, not a lot, but in some sectors like cars and trucks, sport cars, we already can see a big difference. Okay, so uh, when there is I don't know the name in English, but the guys for guys in the United States who purchase from Canada. Okay, so these guys, they will have to add. So for example, if Canada is hitting back with 10 or 20%, these guys inside the United States will have to pay for those extra 10-20%. They are not going to take that out from their profits. They're going to pass it forward. So all these goods, they are going to pass forward, they're going to sell with plus 10% or 20%. So that's why inflation will go up. And when inflation go up, the stock markets, risk assets, all those things, they go up as well. Okay? Because if you leave your money in the bank account, you lose. And the only way you have to protect yourself is the markets. That's a standard. Okay. Of course, there are other methods, but basically is this. I just saw some news that now Trump is threatening Europe that if they help or make deals or I don't know with Canada, so Trump is going to hit them back. So the whole Europe. So this is going crazy. From something that could make sense, let's sit and talk, let's try to figure this out, the best way, the best approach. That would be fantastic. And I bet my shoes that all of them will agree to lower taxes on um, American products and goods and etc. But no, Trump chose to make war, and war it is going to hurt everybody. Okay, so right now we have a lot of doubt, uncertainty in the markets. Okay, all this being said, let's jump into structures. So Dow Jones, this is the one that I mentioned on X from January 2018 to February 2020 before the collapse. So we had a low. I'm just showing you guys what we can look for next. Not on fundamentals. Fundamentals, you just have to read the news, but in the charts, okay? Because Dow Jones. So I'm probably one of the few guys ever that went back to Dow Jones back in the day, the very beginning, and did a study day after day. So this is more than almost 200 years, right? So it took a lot of work, but the reward, it's also great. Yeah. Okay. So low, lower low, lower low with a small breach, or there are multiple ways to look into this, but all I want you guys to see is the behavior. Okay, so 3 pivots, 1, 2, and 3. And then we have another one that you may consider only 2. Okay, so we have right here, for example, this is a nice one. Here, could we consider this one? No, and not even this one because they are flat. So only 2. Disaster capitalism, Dow Jones signature. So we talked about this many times. Every time, and by the way, I talked about this, that I made a very silly mistake here. Actually, you guys won't be able to see, but in lower time frames, it is there. Most of the times, and not only Dow Jones in US stocks, so when things go flat, they are very likely to be bearish in the short term, okay? Because if we take a look here, it's flat, right? But made a new high to then make a new low to then continue. So it's crazy, right? But in reality, it is not that crazy. So when we have breaches, or what people can call it broke, no. So just for the sake of this example, let's go into this guy right here. So some people may say, oh, the support, oh, it broke the support. Now, what they are going to do, they are going to draw lines here and look for other levels that may hold. But as you guys see, this is how it happens. Not all the time, not in all the assets. But yeah, so silly traps, multiple traps. So now back to where we are right now. I showed this to you guys, if I'm not wrong. Not long ago, right? I shared on X. This is almost the same we had before the 2020 break. Not a break at all, but oh, it's right here. So just for you guys to have an idea. It is not the same, but it's similar. So you see, the trend remains. There is no change in the trend. And yeah, so it was a very impressive move, right? A big move. Now imagine this one right here. So can you see what we're talking about? But again, this is not for today. This is for the future. Right here. Most likely right here. I'm leaving everything documented like I did back in the day here, which I was absolutely right. So this is not over. Okay, so now let's jump into smaller time frames. Okay, so one of the mistakes that I made, I forgot the target, but okay. So one of the mistakes that I made is that I really thought, even though I called this, it was very close. I said 40,600 or 39,500, one or the other, right? So maybe there is a big chance that we will make it to both targets. So this is crazy, right? Yes, I know it's crazy. Crazy. But the most important thing here is, so please remember, I'm talking about structures, but I am aware of the fundamentals. If you only look into structures or Dow Jones all without news events, you are most likely going to be wrong. I'm saying this to you by experience, okay? So what I'm doing here is a continuation of the fundamentals, okay? So lead by thought, okay? So what we want, again, it's a higher low above this level right here. That's what we want, because otherwise it can be crazy and go even below. Okay, and again, this is not support and resistance. This is about the pivots that made the lower lows, the higher lows, the lower highs, so on and on and on. Okay, and one of the reasons is when support and resistance people, they are always looking for flat structures, and that's the biggest mistake they can ever make. We are looking for the pivots that make the bigger structures, the ones that call the shots. That's what we look for. And right after, for the structure, then the outcome, target, direction, etc., etc. Okay, so please remember, this is not about support and resistance ever, ever. So all this being said, let me bring another chart. Just a moment. Okay, here we are. I believe I shared this one with you guys before. Okay, so every single black bar is a false meeting. Okay, and every single red bar, it's a let's say the in between, the 50% or the correction for continuation, or okay, so there's usually a correction on the 50 mark. So, and we are measuring time here, not points. Okay, so this is important. Time, not points. We just talking about points. Okay, so just take a look here. From the first one to the second, we had no change here on Fed policy rates. Okay, right after the 50, we got a correction. All good. We went up after the 50. So after the 50 correction, after the 50 correction, always maintaining the higher lows. You see? But then there is a time that we always made a comeback to previous pivots. So this is completely natural and normal. Okay? So to the 50, after the 50 correction, after the 50 correction, after the 50, little correction or continuation. So in this case, is continuation, forgive me. A little bit of continuation. There was we saw this back in the day, a bearish structure. So this is a descending triangle with only 4 pivots. Yeah, 4 pivots. So, okay, right here. So continuation, right? We went down, continuation, sideways before continuation. Okay, so following the direction. Based on this, maybe what we can expect. So what we want and then what we can expect. So two different things that are not connected to each other. There is a chance that this ends, the whole thing, the war, tariffs, the nonsense, with a higher low against 38,400 points, which could be 39,600 or 500. Okay, so could be, that's what we let's say been looking for clues, better understanding, and so on and on. So we continue to go down, probably whole April, or let's say to second week. Then we will have to pay attention if we are going to see here something that leads to continuation, or if we are going to see a reversal. Okay, again, two different things. Continuation, reversal. Okay, so that's basically what we have to look for. Another thing, very important here. Luckily, I shared both on X, both. I shared my first thoughts about David's tweet, and then I shared something later that is so completely different. Why? When I was looking to the charts and trying to make sense about going down in May, we did have time, but we didn't have a strong lower high. So for example, strong lower high on Dow Jones, on XRP or Bitcoin would be a great indicator that we could have like could maintain the previous. So this is what I'm talking about. Let me try to show you here. So for example, if we had a strong lower high here, then we could expect a not so aggressive downside move. So you see, but in crypto, we should hold like this. So for example, just a for you guys to have an idea. So the strong lower high, then strong higher low. Okay, but sadly, we didn't have any of it in the crypto market. None, zero. And this leads us, just a sec, folks, forgive me. So this leads us to what? A weak structure in a flat position that is very, very likely to break. Okay, but this break, it is going to be a trap, and then we are going to talk about it. Okay, so David was probably pointing to something else with so for example, with a different idea. So the crash of the balloon on May 6, it's probably signaling or a mention to something old, or let's say something, how can I say, there is not reliable, that there is big risk, it is not cool, you know, to something better. So it's probably a event that trigger a change. Okay, so again, about my both views. The first, we read what we can see, right? So he shared something, there is a meaning, an event, we are going to read that. And based on this line of thought, the logical, right? So the first thing is to be logical. Then we are going to draw our idea or opinion or searching for that truth based on this this line. But in the other side, so for example, what I do, I am a contrarian. So when I think about something, I will play the contrarian again. What does it mean? That I will look into what I'm saying. I will listen to what I'm saying, and I will try to play a totally different position. That's what I did. So I went into the to the crypto market, for example, also Dow Jones, but also on the crypto market. Let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, let me go to Ethereum and then XRP. First thing that I did, I went here, I draw the bar right here. So that's the event that Dave highlighted. And what's the problem? The problem is, actually it's not a problem, there is enough time that this code, so for example, Bitcoin, crypto, and whatsoever, could develop something to protect from further downside. The example that I gave to you on Dow Jones. So for example, you see, to then go down in the possibility of maintaining higher lows, but this didn't happen. Okay, could even be a descending triangle, whatever, but there is no strength in the crypto market right now at this moment. So we gotta think what could change the crypto market, because there is good news all the time, anything just keep going down, right? There is something. Maybe we don't know, but there is something. So probably it's going to be an event that is going to be announced or whatever, or something that will take place that it is going to change it. Okay. So what is going to be this event? We don't know, but I do know it's there. So May 6 to go down, it's far away and it lacks strength. The other thing is the same exercise that we made on XRP. This move here was based on the reserve, then more than 100% come back. This is a short-term bearish signal. We can deny it's here. Okay, so basically what we can do, again, following the same principle of removing both of, let's call them the Florida candles, you guys remember. Okay, so what we would have here, kind of bear flag, kind of. What we have here, kind of ascending channel, or even a bear flag, whatever the way you want to call it. And one scenario that could happen, cold, but again, would be more sign of weakness. It's something like this. Because there are some people doing this, we do know, for sure. And then, ooh, oh, the support, this, support me that. Then we go down. There's a lot of people who will try to keep at it. And then, kaput. 60, we are going to take a look at the possible target. But you see, support, it's sign of weakness. Take a look here. Take my word. Lower highs. The break from 95,000K. Lower high, lower high, lower high. And this one here is not going to make a higher high. Okay, it's impossible, basically almost impossible. So, an XRP have exactly the same behavior. The only difference is that this action on XRP, it's above. And on Bitcoin, it's below. Okay. The possible target for this coming move, it is going to be close to 60. I believe it's right here. Okay. Let's take a closer look. So you guys remember the drill? This method is not accurate. It is just a way to quickly take a look at it. Okay, so this way we don't stop, we don't waste time looking to different things. And yeah. So what else we have here that is not confirmed, but it is here? The changes, structures changing. We will take a look on the dates, right? So this is likely to unfold before April 14. Okay, so let's say next week it is going to be catastrophic, just for the sake of this example. So it is going to be between 31 and 4. 31 and 4, that's what we want here right now. 31 and 4. Okay, enough time to go down to probably make it to the target. I don't know if it's a final target, but again, we measure what we have, not what we don't have. Okay, so we see what we can see, not what we want to see. So would this leave enough room for something to develop here before going up? Yes. And I'm just assuming that, once again, instead of May being something bad, in reality it can be something good. Okay, but as we do know, April and May are almost always bad, or April and May, or August, September. Also, the harvest season, August and September, it's most of the times corrections guaranteed, or at least the market holds, like stops for some days. So enough room to go down, and enough room for something to develop, like, I don't know, maybe a comeback, and then we go back to 95K after. So this could even be, let's say, most likely this. Yeah, something like this, maybe. Okay, because once again, May it's bad business, but as soon as we approach June, things approach, not June, as we approach June, so probably second week of May, maybe the third, we may start to see something great. Also, one of the most important events that is going to prop the crypto market, believe it or not, is Ripple against the SEC trial that will end. Don't take my word for it, just wait for it. So the deadline, the worst deadline that we have, it's May 25. The worst, okay, like the worst case scenario. But we do know, by a matter of fact, things right now will start to move faster. So this is one of the timelines for one of the parties, and this is the other. But all of them, both, can be abbreviated. For example, something like this. Okay. What else we have to talk here? Just give me a second, folks. Okay, so possible target 6,800. Yeah, 685 or 66, close to it. Okay, just for us to have an idea. So, but the most important thing, remember what we're talking about. So please let me draw the line there once again, 6,800. Just one idea. Always so always remember, we have to do this how? Step by step. Oh baby. Always step by step. So there are two things here very, very important. Once again, Bitcoin fundamentals solo won't work. So the crypto market depends on what? The US economy. Why? Because the United States investors, they move the markets, not people, not the average Joe. Okay? So until things are ready, they are not going to put their money into the market. So, all this being said, what we do know here, we do know that the key level for Bitcoin below 100K, it's 75,025. And once again, this is not support or resistance stuff, because I can draw all those levels all the way to 500,000, 1 million, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of them on the way even before we reach any of those levels. So you guys saw me doing this before. Okay. So now, yeah, I don't like a lot of things in my charts, but just for guys to understand, as soon as the crypto market goes down, so for example, for Bitcoin, 75025, XRP, $2, XDC, 5 cents, XLM, 21 cents. 21? Yes, 21, then 30, it's 34. I think it is 34 cents. So we already know all those levels, and they are all connected. They are all, let's say, they speak to themselves. Okay, so they are connected. What happens as soon as Bitcoin goes down? Either people selling on spot or traders selling contracts. As soon as Bitcoin loses the pants here, this whole territory, its range, the whole of it. So this whole territory right here, it's the bulls territory. Okay, once again, not so what I'm drawing here, it is not only on Bitcoin. It's all the other coins and tokens are in the same situation scenario. Okay, it is the only difference is the size of the numbers. Okay, so for example, Bitcoin 5 digits, XDC 1 cent, 5 cents range, XRP 1 digit range. They are all connected, all of them. So this is the range for, so this is the bull's home, and this place, all of it. You guys can see the honey spot. the 50 mark, and 6180. This is going to be bear traps, all of it, okay? And I will only become concerned only because, again, this is a step-by-step process. I will only be concerned only if Bitcoin touches exactly 780, 60, 580,000 only. But I think it's highly, highly unlikely, very, very unlikely. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Yeah. So another thing, if that could happen, or not, even worse, a 100% move, this would be 100% bearish, 100%. So here, 70-80% bearish. Here, 100%. Now imagine, okay, so now we have a macro, multiple months old structure. Now imagine Bitcoin going flat here. So you see the problems with flat structures, with flat levels, with 100% retracements. They are never bullish. You see? So try to look this way. How a 100% move could be bullish? Oh, the support. No, it is a sign of weakness. Always. It's a rule. It's a Fibonacci rule. Okay? So we talked a lot about Bitcoin. Now we're gonna move to Ethereum because there is something new on Ethereum. There is something new. Oh yes, Ethereum is going back to the ICO. No, I'm joking, folks. I'm joking. Hold on, hold your hats. So this is the multiple year structure that we had. Let's draw it right here. Okay, so we really had it. Okay, it wasn't something like, oh, wow, we want to have it. No, we did. We really had something. But it changed multiple times. So I'm going to pivot to pivot. Okay? And then you guys are going to notice how bad it is to keep changing and adjusting, because when you do, it's a sign of weakness. So this one here broke. This one here broke, readjusted. This one here broke here. The next one broke as well. So after all of these adjustments, trying to give some hope to Ethereum and hoping that the market was ready, things will continue, it is gone, this rising wedge. Okay, it is gone. So the previous targets that we had for the rising wedge, they changed. They are not the same. Everything changed. Okay, once again, the structure changed, the targets change. Now what we have? We are also going to take a closer look into Ethereum, just for you guys to feel the market, you know. Right here. So right now Ethereum is in another position that is only 42% developed in this possible structure right here. Only 42%. With only 42%, we can't make any call. None, zero, nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, because it is still developing, and until we have something, at least 4 pivots, at least 4, we can have not even an idea. So take a look before pivots. We could have an idea, but with only 3. 1, 2, and then we have 3 here. We can make an idea. Okay, so what we could expect now, what we want to see. Okay, so not what the market is going to do, but what we maybe expect. It's a so this is not 10%, maybe. Let me see. Oh yes, 19%. So a 19% move could be awesome here. Yeah, would be way too close. But let's try to work with it. So following this logic, not the pattern is not completed, it's still developing, but following this logic, this is something that we could expect, look for, try to make sense about it, wait for it to develop, that's the way, okay? Nobody wants to try to catch falling knives. And I used the wrong chart. Yes, I did. Holy Moses. Okay. Yeah. So for Ethereum, that's all we have. Once again here, this is bearish continuation. Let's take a closer look. Oh, just a moment. Okay. Okay. Yep. So a bear flag, little one. Actually, this wasn't a bear flag. No, this was a little bull here. Take a look. Take a look. Little bull. You see, little bull, little structure, little reward. Small structures can't make big moves. And here it is. Then once again, a nothing burger move. Rejected. Down we go. Could we address any structure here? Yeah, another bear flag. This for day traders or probably low time frame traders would be quite complicated. For yeah. So we are on the break already. Okay? Or can be very, very close to it. Once again, a bear flag. It's a good, not a bad higher low, but still. See? Always making lower highs. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And even if we're looking to, just for the sake of this example, if we take a look on Ichimoku, we are going to see the cloud and bouncing from a average, probably. Yes, yes. Bouncing from both the averages and the clouds. See, sometimes there is a little change, but it's not a change at all. I don't use Ichimoku, but it is a great way to just look it for more information, you see? Just to have another idea, okay? So now let's go to XRP. Oh, and also we are going to take a look on XDC. So just a second, folks. Okay, let's go. So we have two different things to talk about here. Go down and down again. Okay, so one thing, some people may think this is silly, but it is not. Once again, we talked about this in the last video, but just for you guys to properly understand, a head and shoulders doesn't have the same target as a descending triangle. And a descending or ascending triangle doesn't have the same target as a similar triangle or a inverted head and shoulders. This is it's banalized, it's kind of people will make fun, we forget what is most important, but they are similar structures in nature, but they are not the same, let's say, numbers. So once again, they don't have the same targets. And again, we don't have a head and shoulders here. Appears to be, I know, I know, I can see. But it is not because on the side behavior. So once again, the exercise. You see? Descending triangle. So you see, a possible target for XRP could be 156, 150, 145, but close to this range. Okay? Close. Has to be close. Also, I think there is something some people are looking for, but they actually won't understand what they will find. Just give me a second, folks. So, a possible target for the head and shoulders, just for you guys to know. Let me tell you, because there are some people who are completely out of their mind, and they think that the target it's acquired by one of the shoulders, and it is not. So here it's a lesson for you guys. When measuring a head and shoulders or a inverted head and shoulders, how you do that? It's very simple. You draw the line from the head to the neck. That's why the neck gotta be flat. Gotta be flat. Otherwise, it is not a head and shoulders. And what do you do to acquire the target? Hard, isn't it? Now, just because we have a target, it doesn't mean it is going to happen the way it showed. So this is a different story, like the after process. Okay, so for example, if I use this tool right here, take a look. It's very close, right? But I do know two things that I learned with time. That this is what? A logarithmic chart. This both. So this is a logarithmic bar, and this is a logarithmic tool. They are not linear. And I do know there is extrapolation when doing this in a logarithmic chart. So automatically, I know that at least this range right here, it is not accurate. Sometimes it is, other times it is not, but it is what it is. Okay, so just for you guys to understand, because I heard a guy saying, not saying, he wrote that the target somehow is acquired from the right shoulder and the target would be $1. So this is completely, absolutely nonsense. Nonsense. Yeah, but so while we were talking about Dow Jones and Bitcoin strong lower high could change things, right? So what would be or could be a strong lower high for a price protection event or so? Any move to lower high against the previous one, $3. Oops, forgive me. Or much stronger lower high, because this would make two new sets of pivots. Or could be, you see, or could be, or even here, because there is a new high here, new high. Always a new high after the shoulder, invalidate the shoulder and the whole zigzag head and shoulders stuff. There are rules. It's not based on opinions. Yeah, but we didn't have a strong lower high. And at this point, I don't think we are going to have one. Probably a small lower high here, going up this weekend to getting blasted on, let's try to make a call here. Day will be 30. The magic hour will be 17. So this is what we can expect for the weekend and also for what comes right after. Let me go closer. So what we may see this whole weekend can be something like this. Can have even a little aggression, you know, but it is not going to change what's coming, in my opinion. And also remember, we are dealing with incomplete information, which means I can't feel comfortable making a call here. There is nothing clear. What we do know right now, it's not looking good. Okay, so we can expect some, you know, just a little bit up on the weekend, or even sideways, which would be one way or the other is the same. There will be no change. And then next week, kaput. As I mentioned, there is already people who are freaking out. They are scared. They are impatient. They are sad. And folks, we are all in the same boat. But here's the thing. The market, it's this way that it works. So it is what it is. Nobody can change this. So for how long we waited for a break, for this break? We waited a long time. Okay? So or you will adjust to the market, or the markets are going to adjust you. Okay? So always remember this. Now, this is all that I had to tell you guys. Okay? So Dow Jones, the economy, the fears, tariff wars, the Fed is most likely not going to decrease rates on May 7. Yeah, so, and what we may expect for this month of April. Okay? Now, just a different, maybe it's better, yeah, maybe it's better to do another video to talk about this. I don't want to mix things. I don't know, some people don't like it, and I don't want to really piss off none of you guys, because probably at this moment all of us are already pissed off, right? So who is happy when things are going down? Actually, some people are. Doing the DCA, decreasing cost average, is a moment it's a great opportunity, right? Yeah. So yeah, I will try to record this other video tomorrow. It's only about XRP, Joel Cuts, and Bear Able Guy, because I have other chart here that I'm going to show to you guys, and it is not a hype video. I just trying to. So here's the thing. I don't follow Variable Guy. Well, what I see is from friends who share the things. Okay, I am just the chart guy, and I'm doing this for since 2016. Okay, I make a living from the market full time. But when I see there is something that appears to be accurate, or at least it's relevant, we have to try to make sense about it. Okay, so it doesn't care if people make fun about it or not. People made fun about Amazon back in the day. So just one example, I made fun about the internet and many other things. Computers, you know. So things are always changing. People are always making fun about it. So that's not the point. What we want is trying to put as much evidence or some things that are connected to events and try to make sense about all of this mess. That's what we want. That's what we're looking for, you know. So, for example, that thing or a riddle or something that Joel said doesn't make sense. What is the understanding we can have from it when we put in the chart? You see, so this is the point. And Joel has been right many times. Many. Okay. So yeah, folks, I will try to record this video maybe this weekend. And yeah, so once again, let's do this step by step. It's always the best approach we can have. But for now, hello darkness, my old friend. I came to talk with you again. Yeah, folks, so one day at a time, right? We know we are in the right direction. We know we made the right choice, so let's just wait a little bit. We are almost there. It is not going to take a long, long time, and you guys are going to see it, have a different perspective in the next video. Okay? So thanks again, thanks for your time, thanks for your patience. Don't forget to smash the like button. You can do it for free. It won't take only 1 second of your precious life. 1 second to push a button and show some appreciation. Okay? Share with your friends, with family, the cat, fish, turtle, dog, all of them. Put them together, you know, same room, and let's take a look in the charts. So guys, thanks again. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the kind message, the support, and let's keep doing our thing. Don't give up. Never give up. Raise your head. The worst is behind us. It's not ahead of us. Okay? So be patient and wise. Okay? I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe and see ya.